was a lie put about by the Shibugans. It was the President's daughter. I didn't steal the moon, I lost.
Tecteun was the first of Gallifrey's indigenous race, the Shibogans, to develop space travel.
It's the kind of vandalism we're always running the Shibugans in for.
According to program, this is Metabilis 3, the famous blue planet of the Actian group.
Shh, listen. All the way from Metabilis 3.
Well, we never got to Metabilis 3.
Look, must you?
I'm sorry. It's my breakfast. I said, no wonder we never got to Metabilis 3.
There's precious little protein in an apple, you know.
If the giant spiders on Metabilis 3 wanted that crystal back...
Remember what happened to you on Metabilis 3?
Well, I got there, didn't I?
Cleverer than the two legs on Metabilis 3. Who is this two-leg who dares to sit in the place of Huath, Queen of Metabilis?
433 Earth years ago, their starship came out of its time jump with no power left and crashed on Metabilis 3.
But not until you bring me the crystal you stole from Metabilis.
All the cells of his body have been devastated by the Metabilis crystals, but you forget. He is a Time Lord.
We're in the death zone on Gallifrey.
How can you be so sure?
I left Gallifrey to answer a question of my own.
It's just as I feared. We're on Gallifrey, in the death zone.
What is your native planet?
Gallifrey. I am a Time Lord.
Ah, yes.
I'm a traveler.
From where?
Gallifrey.
There was a very good polygonal zero room under the Junior Senate block on Gallifrey, widely acclaimed for its healing properties.
I am known as the Doctor. I'm also a Time Lord. From the planet Gallifrey?
Since you were exiled from Gallifrey, you've had nothing but contempt for all other Time Lords.
Mike.
Should take his remains back to our home planet, Gallifrey.
Gallifreyan.
Gallifrey! Yes, this must be where I live.
Time Lords of Gallifrey. Daleks of Skaro.
But his name lives on. Gallifrey.
Where are you from?
Gallifrey.
And who are you?
I am the Doctor, a Time Lord from Gallifrey.
I was born on a planet called Gallifrey, in the constellation of Kasterborous.
They've got our thoughts, too. That or the Donna. She mentioned Gallifrey.
Yeah, the Doctor said well.
My world is called Gallifrey.
Gallifrey?
From the Groves of Villengard, thought it was appropriate.
The weapon forges of Villengard. It's the nightmare of the Seven Galaxies.
V for victory?
Villengard. V for Villengard.
There's really a banana grove in the heart of Villengard, and you did that.
Bananas are good.
The Villengard Corporation would like to extend its deepest condolences.
I was spared further suffering by a Villengard automated ambulance unit.
Frontiers. Frontiers. Frontiers.
The Frontiers.
Frontiers.
Frontiers. A Frontiers. A Frontiers.
Frontiers to
Frontiers. Frontiers.
for Frontiers.
Frontiers to
New Frontiers.
The Frontiers. And Frontiers.
Heavens, you're safe. Don't interrupt. He's a Fomassi.
There's a hideous war against some reptile people called the Fomazi. Fomazi shuttle.
Sir, we have another urgent request from the Fomazi shuttle for clearance.
The Fomazi request clearance. Let them try taking off.
Personally, those Fomazi make my skin crawl. It must be the green scales.
Come now, Proc. Part of the business of this hive is to develop cross-cultural understanding. The Fomazi are reptiles with highly developed intelligence.
Attention, this is the launch systems controller. The Fomazi shuttle has launched.
What? We must contact the Fomazi and avert this war.
You mentioned Fomazi?
What did you think of this chap, Omega? The only natural law here is the law of Omega's will.
But Omega died.
As long as the renegade Daleks have got the hand of Omega, then the Imperial Daleks' attention will be focused on that.
If Omega can will up an entire world, well, surely you two could will up a small door. No,
Omega's mad. He'll kill her.
Please, Nissa.
Omega killed him?
So the Daleks grab the hand of Omega and go, and no one gets hurt.
What offensive action should we, or indeed can we take against this chap Omega?
Well, who is this Omega, anyway?
All three are needed to defeat Omega.
Yes, Omega.
Omega? Put up your weapon, Castellan. Omega must be found and stopped.
I've already tested the bypass procedures. Omega has cut us off.
Omega will have to track it down to confirm that we're not trying to bypass the Matrix control.
It is the hand of Omega! We have established the position of the Omega device! I will surrender the hand of Omega!
We have the hand of Omega.
I don't get it. They've got the hand of Omega. Why don't they just leave?
We must defend the hand of Omega!
The Omega Arsenal.
In the legends of your people, I am called Omega.
Ha! And the greatness of Omega could have been yours.
This is a purely robotic Cyberman.
What is it?
A Cyberman?
A Cyberman killed with an arrow? But that's ludicrous.
That's mechanically recovered meat.
I know. It's the Cyberman of food, but it's tasty.
The Cyber King, a giant Cyberman, walks over all of Victorian London and no one even remembers.
It's a Cyberman. A Mondasian Cyberman.
That is a lone Cyberman.
But, Doctor, the Cyberman was carrying one of the patients.
Cyberman?
If he carries on shouting like that, we'll have every Cyberman in the area on top of us.
We have to destroy the Cyberman spaceship.
A Cyberman?
Of all the things.
Hey, Cyberman, over here.
You don't know what a Cyberman is yet, do you?
I'm not a Cyberman.
What sort of part man, part robot?
Why would you blow up a whole planet and everybody on it just to get rid of one Cyberman?
One Cyberman per city. What could they hope to accomplish?
One burning Cyberman is hardly going to save the planet.
What's a Cyberman? Beware the lone Cyberman.
Don't let the Cyberman have what it wants.
It should fry any Cyberman that comes near.
You have managed something no other Cyberman ever achieved. Maybe.
Bomb? What, you mean the Cybermen are?
Yes, sir. Something called a Cyber Megatron bomb. Do you mean like the Axons and the Cybermen?
Precisely.
Especially as I confined them to a frozen tomb on Telos.
How do you know what happened on Telos?
Mondas, Telos, Earth.
Spyrodon. Telos.
Telos? Wherever that is.
That should be the entrance to the city of Telos.
I hope you're right.
But of course, Telos was their home.
You can find the Cybermen to their ice tomb on Telos.
We are as much prisoners on Telos as if we stayed in the work party!
On our home planet, Telos. Telos will have been destroyed.
What is Telos? Is no one going to tell me?
A time vessel landed on Telos. The Cybermen were able to capture it.
Prevent the Cybermen leaving Telos. Very common in the colder areas of Telos. Remove your TARDIS from Telos before you have to be rescued again.
This is Hecate. Full separation has been achieved.
They're about to transfer the crystal to the Hecate.
Do you know what the source is?
They're daemons from the planet Deimos. He's established a link with the demon.
Well, this demon could destroy the world.
Shouldn't we get over there and sort this demon thing out?
Not one, save the last of the demons.
I am the last of the demons!
Votan. Oh, no, I hardly think that'll be necessary.
Votan requires all the labor we can find.
Which I call Votan. You call what? Votan.
Sir, doesn't this put a great deal of power into the hands of whoever operates Bolton?
No one operates Votan.
And what does Votan propose to do about it?
Votan will decide our fate.
What manner of servant are you?
Oh, go away, Latoxo.
And then there's
Clitoxel.
My servant dies, so does Clitoxel.
Because I overheard something that Latoxel said to Tonilla.
must be reported to Latoxel.
Clitoxel is determined to destroy Yetaxa.
I greet you, Clitoxel.
Latoxel was humiliated. He will not forget, nor will he forgive.
I, Clitoxel, High Priest of Sacrifice, salute you. I, Clitoxel, High Priest of Sacrifice.
Spiridons? I rigged something like it on Spiridon.
And the worst?
Do absolutely nothing.
Spiridon. Telos.
That's Wester. He's the Spiridon that helped me.
Spiridon, Kemble, Iridius, Vulcan, Exelon.
Oh, yes. The Spiridons. They're invisible.
Spiridon. One of the nastiest pieces of space garbage in the 9th system.
They discovered it by studying the Spiridons. It's an anti-reflecting light wave.
It stated that the force assembled on Spiridon was now complete. It gave their numbers.
Spiridon slave workers will cooperate with Dalek patrols. It will totally contaminate the planet within the space of one Spiridon day. The most virulent form of the bacteria will be ready for release in half a Spiridon day. Spiridon slaves report aliens believed to be hiding at the Plane of Stones. Those are my people. The Spiridons. The Daleks have made them slaves.
As Yetaxa, you're supposed to know everything.
Not Barbara. Yetaxa.
What of Yetaxa? I'm her handmaid and she wished to see me.
Well, he said we were the servants of Yetaxa.
I do not know if you are Yetaxa. I do not know what you are.
Escort Yetaxa to the sacrificial altar.
Great Spirit of Yetaxa. He is the servant of Yetaxa.
I had heard that Yetaxa again guides us in wisdom.
It came from Yetaxa's tomb.
Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Hoop YouTube channel.